Coming to you from the international headquarters, ScottieDTV, but I was up to 2023 Pigeon Forge Rod Run Spring Edition, and Bradley Gray with the Blown Mafia was so kind to unveil his latest creation this year in the ScottieDTV Dirty Dozen, a 1970 Nova SS dual supercharger street legal funny car. How cool is that? Let me get the camera turned around, we'll check it out. Bradley, what do you got going on here, brother?
Man, just a little something we tried to come up with. You know, everybody wants to do something a little different these days.
Yeah, and you're the master of different, that's for sure.
I hear you, buddy. I appreciate it.
You've been talking about it a little while. We've talked about some other projects, but then just a few months ago, it wasn't even like years ago, it was a few months ago, you were like, bing bang, I'm doing it.
Yeah, we started in September.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so here we are. You know, there's still things to do, but you know how it is. It's never done, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I had to give you a point to hit, and so you got her 99%. Go back, keep dialing on it.
That's right.
Because cars like this will take a year to get dialed in and tuned in, and all your little details and shook out.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. They take a little time, you know, but I figure, you know, a couple more months, and I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Right on.
Yeah.
No, it's a good-looking car.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
What is it?
So it's a 70 Nova funny car. Basically, it's based off a McKinney chassis. It's an ex-Chi-Town Hustler chassis that we modified for the street, because you know this thing's gonna be driven on the street.
Right.
The body I picked up from a gentleman up in New Jersey. He's hanging up in his rafters, and off we go. You know, mount the body on this thing. Started with the suspension stuff up front. I left the rear a hardtail just to kind of see if, you know, we'll see what happens with that as far as the street goes. The engine is a 540 twin 671s, 33% overdriven. It's injected gas, power glide transmission, and then 471 gears in a 9-inch in the back, full floater.
All right, let me rewind for a minute. You say you're going to drive this on the street?
Yeah, yes. I built it for the street, man.
That's all right.
This is a street
This
car.
is what you're going to get your groceries in?
I don't know about
your
groceries.
Sun drop?
I don't know about groceries, but yeah, no. This is a street car, man. I'm driving this on the street, one way or the other. If I have to change the suspension, so be it. It's on the rear. You know, it is what it is. I'm going to drive this car.
You wanted to start out with what it was back in the day.
Well, keep it. Well, yeah, I mean, as basic as I could.
Right.
You know, yeah. I left the fiberglass the way this thing with the body was molded. I didn't want to cut the headlights out of the thing. You know, funny cars ain't got headlights, right?
Right.
So anyhow, yeah, I left all that. We just airbrushed those in. The headlights will be behind the marker lights in the bumper.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where they'll be. Now it does have factory markers and tail lights in it. Just, you know.
Seat belt, brakes, cruise control, air conditioning.
You know what I'm saying? Right? No big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Couple of parachutes, you know, in case the brakes go out.
Well, we did an electric actuator deal, so it raises and lowers the body electrically. And then I've got a key fob. I can do it standing out from the car, or I can do it while I'm sitting in the car. And then, you know, that's pretty much the size of it.
It's got an escape hatch?
It does, yeah. See, it's a funny car deal. You know, that was already in the body when I purchased the body. We made very few modifications actually to the body itself as far as when it was run. This body was run in the 90s, early 90s and such. It was out of Canada, man, running out of Canada, called the Burnout King.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic? It went from him to you. Mm-hmm. From a guy that was an exhibitionist with burnouts to a guy that builds show stuff.
He raced this car. It wasn't the exhibition deal. No, he raced the car. He did cool burnouts. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's how he got the nickname. But yeah, it was a nostalgia deal. You know, guy ran the car. The body's thick. I like the body because the fiberglass is thick. It's heavy.
Right.
It's a heavy body. It was heavy when we started, and it's even heavier now with all the skeleton work we had to do inside.
Right.
But I felt like it was a good one for the street because you know, no cracking and all these kind of things, or at least cut down on it. It's gonna happen. It's a fiberglass funny car.
Sure.
Body,
right.
So,
Right. Yeah. None of this was meant to do what you were getting ready to do.
No.
What about the back window? How do you see?
Well, I've got a reverse camera. I've got a monitor inside the car. And it just, you know, that's how I can see. I can see my blind spot is about 2 feet on each side of the quarter panel. As far as the down the side of the quarter panel, if I can't see a car in that, there's a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's really no real blind spot with that reverse camera deal that I have. And then it's very deceiving, but I can see out the front of this thing. Obviously, I can see better than I can out the Mustang. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can see to drive this car.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the Mustang's got like a front camera.
Yeah, front camera. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. But.
Well, I know you didn't do all this on your own. So
No,
maybe we got to give some shout outs.
Absolutely. Troy Wilson Racing Chassis. He was a big part of this deal right here. Steve Falk is a painter right there local to me, and he's the one that you know, kind of shot the red on this thing, you know, buffed it out. I mean, the guy's a killer. Bruce Mullins out of Virginia, he's the one that did all the airbrush work, all the trim and the headlights and bumpers and things like that. Chris Klein Race Cars, I want to shout out to them. Goodridge USA, they fittings and things like hose and fittings and stuff. Wow. Yeah, so Good Vibrations out in California, man, they sell a lot of blower parts, blower components. They really helped me out, and they stepped up on this thing. And also Alky Digger, Mike Chandler, he's a great guy. He's real knowledgeable, and he's helped me out a bunch too through the years.
Yeah, you got a
my
lot
wife,
of,
my mom, Riley, my son, you know how it is, man. Yeah,
well,
got to keep the family, right? Yeah. And you, man, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Had I not met you, I may not be where I'm at.
Oh, it's all good, man. We work together,
That's
right?
That Camaro blew us both up, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, it's fun.
Back in the day, I used to be Riley's best friend.
That's right. You still are. You just don't see him as much.
But one day he told me, "You're my best friend." I will never forget. It still gives me chills today. Yeah, so every time I see him, I got to give the kid a hug.
Riley knows good people, man.
Yeah, and he's growing up to be like his dad. He's growing, building cool stuff, and you know, sneaking out at night and all that kind of stuff, right?
Tearing up his trucks and all that stuff. Yeah, having fun.
Right on.
That's what it's all about.
So where else are you going to have it? We're debuting it at Dirty Dozen.
We're debuting it here, right? Dirty Dozen. My next stop will be Outer Banks. I'll have it at Outer Banks in OBX, North Carolina. Okay. And then the next biggest one will be DuQuoin, Illinois, for the Street Machine Nationals. That'll be the one, you know, that'll be the kind of like where everybody's kind of getting geared up for. Right. After Outer Banks. And
that's DuQuoin, not Des Moines.
It's DuQuoin.
Right.
DuQuoin.
DuQuoin. Illinois.
Illinois.
All right,
yeah, Street Machine Nationals.
Well, brother, you know I'm always front row when you got something coming out, and this one's going to have people's heads shaking too, especially when they see it drive down the road.
That's where I'm at with it. Yeah,
right.
I could give two shit. I don't care if it's sitting still. I want to drive it. You know, that's where I want people to see it. You know.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because that's the thing with all your stuff. We've got a video where you literally walk through and turn the key on everything and it fires right up.
Yeah.
Everything. We got it all sitting in the yard, and you're going from one car to another, and it's all just lighting right up and sitting there and idling and just fine.
Right.
Well, you're not the quarter model kind of guy with this stuff. You just like, you're not trying to turn a time. You just build it to wow people. That's what I tell them. I'm like, he built wow. What are you complaining about?
Right. Yeah, it's you know, it's fun. It was fun. This was a fun build. It was a quick build. It jumped on me pretty fast. So a lot of times it's nicer to take a little bit more time so you can enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
Well, now I've gotten to the point to where now I can sit back and I can enjoy doing all the little details, things that needs to be done at this point. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because that's the thing. You have to sit around and just stare at it for a while.
You know, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
You see what is messed up and what's not, because a lot of stuff won't jump out at you.
These bodies, they move. I mean, it's all fiberglass, raising up and down. You know, things move. Things. You know. Yeah. It's going to be a challenge keeping it, you know, presentable, in my opinion, presentable, you know, for years to come. But I'll make it work. I'll make it happen.
Will. Yeah, man. Brother, thanks so much for coming out.
Oh, thank you, Scotty. I appreciate the invite, buddy.
So there you go, from the 2023 Pigeon Forge Rod Run, the Blown Mafia 1970 Nova SS dual supercharged street legal funny car. How cool is that? Hope y'all have enjoyed it. See ya! Well, make sure you subscribe to this channel and visit ScottieDTV.com for an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the one at the end of this video.